Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today, let's make a heart twist. It's only a couple of days until Valentine's Day, and it's been a while since I've made a heart shirt, so let's make one. I'm using a George brand long sleeve shirt, which I purchased in the men's department at Walmart. It's 100% cotton, and I'm going to start by finding the center of the front of the shirt. This shirt has side seams, so I'm going to make sure those are straight. Then I'm going to grab both of the corners of the hem and fold them until they're touching, which is going to fold the bottom part of the shirt in half. And I'm going to mark the middle. I'm going to do the same thing up at the top of the shirt. So I have a mark up at the very top of the neck of the shirt and one down on the hem. By the way, I made those using a washable marker. I'm going to grab both of those marks, lift the shirt up off of the table and give it a little bit of a shake, and then lay it back down. So what you're seeing right now is the front of the shirt is facing me. The back of the shirt is what you see back behind the sleeves of the shirt. I have a heart shape or half of a heart shape cut out of a piece of plastic cutting board which I purchased from the dollar store. I'm using that as a stencil and I'm placing it on the front fold of the shirt. I'm going to trace around the stencil using a washable marker, and then I'm going to fan fold that line. I'm making my fan folds fairly small so that I can make the turn in the heart pretty easily. I personally like to start fan folding a heart from the curved portion. It's just a personal preference with me. I think it makes it a little bit easier to make that curve in the heart right at the beginning. Once I have the heart fan folded, I'm going to use some sinew to tie it. Sinew is wax coated, and so I'm going to wrap the sinew around this line a couple of times, pull it real tight, and it's going to form a waterproof barrier where the dye is not going to get underneath that area, which will give me a white definition line around my heart. Then just as a little added, kind of interest or design, I'm going to go down just a little bit from this first line and tie another sinew line. You don't have to do this, it just adds a little extra design around the heart. Then for the rest of the shirt, I'm grabbing the heart portion that I just tied, and I'm starting to twist the remainder of the shirt. Once I've twisted the shirt as much as I can, I'm going to place the shirt down inside of a piece of vinyl guttering. I'm going to incline this shirt, so to make sure it doesn't slide all the way down, I'm going to grab some kite string and tie a piece of kite string to the heart area of the shirt, and then clip the other end of the piece of kite string to the very end of the guttering. I just got in a few Happy Cat tie-dye colors that I've never used before, so I'm really excited and I'm going to try out a couple of them on this shirt. I'm going to use Noble Purple from Happy Cat, Dragon Fruit from Dharma Trading Company, Raspberry Mist from Happy Cat Tie-Dye, Black Magic from Happy Cat, and Strawberry Skies. I'm going to make the heart Noble Purple, And I'm going to make the area right outside of the heart the dragon fruit. The rest of the colors I'm going to put on the twist portion. I'm trying not to add too much dye to the twist portion of the shirt because I want to allow the dye colors to split and to move. Normally when I do twists, I put the dye over the top of the ice, but this time I'm going to try something different and put the dye under the ice, which, for those of you who like to abbreviate things, that's abbreviated DUI. So if you guys haven't tried any of the Happy Cat dyes, they are spectacular. I started out with Strawberry Skies, and that's the one I'm going to use at the bottom portion of this shirt. And this is my second order from Amanda at Happy Cat. The dye colors are just so pretty. She makes them specifically for, or mixes them specifically for ice dyeing, so they're made to have really cool color splits, and they definitely don't disappoint. I'm excited about this new batch of dyes. I got in 12 new dye colors. I made some dye swatches at the same time I was making this shirt, so I kind of went in blind on the colors on this shirt. I could go off of the colors off of her website, which I did, but as far as ever using these colors myself, I hadn't ever used them, so this was a bit of an experiment. Now I'm going to add a little bit of additional soda ash over the top of the dye. With the piece of guttering still flat on the table, I'm going to go ahead and add a layer of ice to the top of the dye. Once I have all the ice on the shirt, then I'm going to place one end of the vinyl guttering down inside of the tote that you see on the table. That's going to put the shirt at an incline. I left the shirt alone and allowed all the ice to melt. After the first layer of ice melted, there was still a little bit of undissolved dye left sitting on top of the shirt, so I went ahead and placed a second layer of ice on top. After the second layer of ice melted, I allowed the shirt to process for about 36 hours before I began rinsing it. I actually don't have the rinsing process on this shirt, but I did it like normal. I rinsed it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. I untied the shirt, warmed the shirt up to hot water, and continued rinsing to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. I went ahead and soaked the shirt as well. I soaked it in some really hot water with a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent added to the water. When the water cooled off, I changed out the water and continued the soaking process until the water was almost clear. Then I put the shirt, along with some Dharma's Professional Textile Detergent, into my washing machine and washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so here's what it looks like. What do you guys think? I think this one looks really pretty. I love the combination of the heart and the twist. You know, I really love dye movements, so a twist is a design that I really like. I've been doing quite a few twists lately because I think it's a great way to show off all the different color splits that come out of dye colors. And these new colors definitely don't disappoint. I love the noble purple right in the middle. It's just such a dark, rich, beautiful color. And then you can see like up at the top of the shirt, the noble purple just kind of spreads out a little bit. I also like the raspberry mist, which is kind of the more pinkish type color that you see down toward the bottom. The black magic is gorgeous. And of course the Strawberry Skies is as well. Like I said, I haven't hit a color of hers that I don't like. I mean, I know I haven't experimented with these new ones very much, but if they're anything like Strawberry Skies, I'm really excited to start playing with them some. I just think this looks like a very unique shirt. I like the darker vibe to this shirt. I think it's really pretty. But what do you guys think? Please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And do you have a favorite dye that Amanda makes from Happy Cat Tie-Dye? If you do, let me know that too. I definitely want to order some more of her dyes. And if you've enjoyed the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day and a happy Valentine's Day.